Now the recording is on.
Thank you, Matti. Good morning, everyone, also on my behalf, and welcome to this third webinar of this supply chain sustainability webinar series that we have had during the spring. My name is Timo Rossi, and today, together with my colleague Matti Mäkelä, we will present and discuss with you the sustainability innovation part, how you can utilize new practices to create competitive advantages in your supply chain regarding that. So, first of all, why it's important to focus on sustainability, and for especially in supply chain sustainability nowadays. World is changing. There are a lot of drivers currently which are shaping the supply chains, setting new regulations, setting new standards, how companies should operate. First of all, a lot of politics, legislation and regulation things. For example, this CSRD directive that took place 1st this year. And there's more to come, for example, this CSDDD in the near future. Also, there are a lot of global commitments, for example, that kind of a science-based target initiative that many, for especially bigger companies, they have committed. Also, there is finally coming a price for impacts and emissions regarding sustainability. Many banks and investors, they have set very ambitious targets to their loaning and investment portfolio in terms of CO2 reduction, for example. Also, consumer values are changing. For example, in KPMG's research a couple of years back, over 50% of consumers were valuing sustainability as one of the main criteria in their purchasing decisions. Also, the big companies, for example, in manufacturing industry, are setting a lot of standards regarding sustainability, and of course, these requirements are then reflected to whole supply chain, to all size of companies. And finally, there is now also more digital tools available for handling that kind of supply chain sustainability things. You don't need to use email and Excel anymore, but you can use digital platform, for example, Jakamo, for that kind of purposes, as we are demonstrating today. Okay, and as said, it's super important to focus for especially in the supply chain when you are talking and considering the sustainability of your company. There's, for example, that kind of US research a couple of years back, which was indicating that actually the supply chain emissions are over 11 times higher than operational internal emissions in the companies. So it's meaning that you can do everything perfectly internally, but you are still covering maybe just 10% of the impacts. So you need to do something for supply chain to being compliant with the new requirements. If we are taking this in a little bit in more concrete level, there's that kind of a greenhouse gas footprint of a product in its value chain. There's first this scope 3 upstream part, basically the components, materials, things that you are buying. Then scope 1 and 2, which means the internal impacts of your own production and operations. And then scope 3 downstream, the usage, distribution, end of life of the product. And actually, it's pretty surprising that typically in manufacturing companies, from 60 to 90% of the greenhouse gas emissions and other sustainability impacts, they are coming actually from the purchases. So even in this scope 3, this procurements and supply chains role is super important. And what you can then do in practice to solve these things. We have developed that kind of a holistic supply chain sustainability model. It's kind of like a management model which is having 3 different elements: supplier compliance, operative sustainability, and sustainability innovation. We have covered the supplier compliance and operative sustainability in our 2 previous webinars, and the supplier compliance part means that you need to understand your suppliers' capabilities, how they can fulfill your requirements in terms of sustainability. So you need to have like a standardized way to manage and know and understand your suppliers' compliance. So you need to know your suppliers. Then secondly, this operative sustainability part here, it means that you also need to be able to track the greenhouse gas and other sustainability impact data of the purchased items, the things, components, materials, sub-assemblies that you are buying from the suppliers. So you need to have a standardized, efficient way to collect this information regarding the purchased items. So basically, you need to have some kind of like a system to collect the data in standard form. And we can say that this supplier compliance and operative sustainability, these two elements are certain that every company need to have this in good shape. So it's gonna be mandatory. For some companies, it's already, but it will be for each company which are operating in manufacturing industry. And when you're actually having this supplier compliance and operative sustainability in good shape, you have implemented good practices and tools there, then you can start building up the competitive, like a strategic competitive advantages with your supply chain. And then you can focus more on this third part, sustainability innovation that we are talking today. It means that when you know your suppliers, you know your operative emissions and impacts, you have all the data, then you can start think about what we can improve. Like, can we, for example, introduce some design for sustainability practices? Can we think together with suppliers some new logistic models? Can we design together with suppliers our products so that they are lasting longer during their life cycle? So to recap, supplier compliance and operative sustainability, they are mandatory, they need to be in good shape. But if you want to take one step further, then you can start focus also in this sustainability innovation part. And actually we have created that kind of like a ready-made digital use cases for supply chain sustainability in this very well-known ESG framework. So we have created that kind of table, which is having supplier compliance, operative sustainability, and sustainability innovation in other axes, and then this environmental, social, and governance part in other axes. And today we will focus and demonstrate this sustainability innovation part. So what you can do here is
Okay, Timo has got freezed, so we can continue. Perhaps Timo will come back soon. Let's see how we can do. Can you, Minna, contact Timo with some other channel and say that he has frozen? Let's wait 1 minute, and perhaps then, Matti, you can continue if Timo won't. There he is again.
Something happened.
Yes. So, no problem. Just carry on.
I'm back. Yes. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
So yeah, some technical problems. Sorry about that. So you can, for example, introduce that kind of design for sustainability collaboration with your suppliers, and you can start taking your suppliers earlier in your product development, for example, to ensure that the sustainability related things are there all the time. But I think that I will hand over to Matti, and you can show how this is working in practice.
Thank you, Timo. My name is Matti Mäkelä. I'm one of the co-founders and work as a Chief Product Officer in Jakamo. And when designing for sustainability with the suppliers, you might be asking these kind of things, or these might be the things you need to develop to with the suppliers. You might want to make your product more recyclable. You might want to find alternative materials that you can use to cut down weight and therefore environmental impact. Or you might want to affect on the product longevity by making the product more durable, or develop the supplier to meet your diversity, equality, and inclusion requirements. And let's see very practical view on this, how to do this in Jakamo. And what Jakamo has to offer is that we can provide you a common workspace to carry on these development actions with the supplier. And we offer a tool to create actionable and traceable evidence that you have identified and acted on the found development targets. You can also create actions with the suppliers to go through the development project and monitor the development project status. All other Jakamo basic functionalities are there, of course, too. You can discuss, you can add documents and so on. But let's see it in Jakamo, how it looks. Here we are. This is an imaginary company, and in the applications, we have development module. And here you can see development actions that are shared with many suppliers. I have one recent example here for developing materials for some crane module. I can see that it's shared with General Supply Inc. supplier. There is a status. You can select and change status by clicking it, and we will count the time for each phase and for the total throughput. Here I have some case where there are cast iron parts, and we are decided to figure out whether we can use something lighter to gain some benefits. You can add responsible users here, and the users will get notified when there's changes or discussion going on regarding this development action. There are also places for benefits. We can describe our target benefits, would be weight reductions, emissions reductions, better recyclability, and maybe some product related benefits too. You can add monetary benefits and also estimate on the CO2 impact for this project. The actual work can be carried on with these tasks. I have created few tasks here, and these tasks can be set with the supplier, like creating prototypes with the new materials, and we can ask suppliers to work on this, and they will get notified about this upcoming dates and expired dates and so on. You can add files and drawings. There can be drawings for the part. You can add any other files, drawings, plans, documents, and so on. And also have a discussion about this development action with the supplier. The list view gives an overall view to all development items, and you can easily filter this content by selecting a supplier or status, what have we going on or what is completed with this supplier and so on. Let's try creating a new development action quickly here. It begins with sharing, and we need to define with who this development action is being shared. And then it's time for the basic information. And I have some rethought content here. This is about recyclability of some hub module, and the hub contains different materials and liquids and so on. And we need a plan to make small changes so it can be recycled better, and the raw materials that we get back are better quality. I can add a deadline for this project, choose responsible users. I can add tags, which is a basic Jakamo functionality, and give a target benefits description for the project. So we need a process for disassembling. We need to reduce waste. We need to find more reused materials and maybe some raw minerals from the electronics, and we need to we might see lower costs because of reusing those recycled materials. We can give target benefits, monetary, maybe plan some costs for personnel and so on, and create these tasks to actually carry on the plan and carry on the project with the supplier. So we need a plan from the supplier first, and we can select supplier persons if we want. We need some testing, evaluation, and documentation regarding that. This goes to the supplier too. I can also add deadlines for the suppliers so they know when they need to do this. We might need to make some product changes. These can also be internal, so your people need to make some adjustments to the product. And finally, to evaluate the results and gain benefits regarding this. After that, this development action is being shared with the supplier. They will see the same content. They are able to process these tasks. They are able to add files and documentation from their side, and they are able to discuss with you and ask anything related to this development project. That's it. This is available now, and please don't hesitate to contact us. We are happy to help you and answer to your additional questions. Thank you. Back to you, Jarl, Matti.
Thank you, Timo and Matti. And it's time for questions now. Please make questions in Q&A part, and we will take them and answer all the questions. One thing I like in this is that the suppliers and customers these kind of actions, what they typically agree to do. They are like in the gray area. Who is responsible in what, and who needs to know what has to be done, and so on. Where are the documents? Now Matti, showed that it can be transparently available and visible, and it makes it makes it alive. It's not more in the gray area. Everybody knows what to do, and that's typical way how organizations organize their own activities. But now, when we talk about supply chain, it was great to see that okay, it can be handled the same way and make it visible in the relationship. And I think that is huge benefits to make those actions live, and that's a great way to work. How about if we think about this kind of traditional supplier development, or we more or less want to discuss about relationship development, but in traditional way, the supplier development. How if you compare this supply chain sustainability innovation in the supply chain, how does it differ from that?
I think that, yeah, really good question. And I think first of all, of course, this is now bringing this sustainability to the center point. Traditionally, it has been maybe more about some other like a process efficiency related things or quality improvement related things and so on that has been developed. So first of all, it's bringing this sustainability in the center point of development. And also, if this like a traditional supplier development is often kind of like a, let's say, kind of like a one-way communication more that customer is telling the supplier how to improve. This is also now bringing it more to like a two-sided, so that it's real like a co-creation between customer and supplier, and they are thinking about those things and creating new things regarding sustainability together. So that's briefly what I'm thinking.
Yeah, that's a good point. So bringing the sustainability in the center, and we are together like developing the topic, not only one way, the other part of the relationship. Did I understand right?
Yeah, exactly.
Good.
May I add one important point regarding this topic? Something that Matti also mentioned in his presentation is that one good thing when utilizing this sustainability innovation way of working is that you are having like a very nice visibility to all of your development portfolio all the time. And very often, for example, third-party auditors are interested in that, or your end customer, if they are auditing your company, they might be interested in what you are really doing or improve your sustainability in your supply chain. So now everything is in the same place. You can show the whole portfolio or dive in to detailed one development action, and even like at the comment or task level, what's going on there. So it's bringing that also in very concrete level and saving a lot of time, because you don't need to try to collect this information from mails and post-its and Excels when somebody is asking it.
Exactly.
So it's bringing the visibility and evidence also regarding this ESG.
Good. And yes, I understand. And you get the same time, you get the holistic view of your portfolio, but you can also dive because you have the traceability to the single actions, like dive to the single actions, what has been really done and when and why. So it gives both the bigger view and also the view, the traceability to the single actions.
Exactly. And at the same time, also supplier can see their part of those actions. So it's bringing visibility to them as well.
Absolutely, yes. Okay, one question, please. If you have any questions, tell us, and we will see them through. What is required if any of our customers wants to start using sustainability innovation in our product, our solution? What is like required? How to start using it?
It's very simple from technical point of view. It doesn't require integration or anything like that. So it's more like introducing new way of working. So it's simple. They can contact us and we can, for example, run a half-day workshop together to think about those practices and then start utilizing them with this development application. So I think that it's very straightforward and not technical project at all.
If there would be some kind of data that our customers would like to utilize, would it be possible to integrate it, for example, with BI tools?
Yes, that is something that is upcoming. So we're in the middle of a platform change, and that platform change will happen during this summer, and it will quite soon include APIs for everything. And that means that data in all applications, also in development actions applications, will have an API where BI systems can collect data. So it is definitely an upcoming feature for near future.
Okay, and now when we are in the end of this 3 webinar series, so I would like to ask 3 tips of what companies should evaluate or analyze or starting to do related to the supply chain sustainability. Where to start, right? If we think all these compliance, operative, GHG tracking, and this innovation part, what would be your tips and recommendation for the companies who are like planning to do something with this topic?
Yeah, pretty good question. And I think that all of the companies, first of all, they should analyze where are the biggest gaps in their supply chain sustainability. And at the same time, where is the biggest impact coming? Because it's different company by company. For some, it can be mostly CO2. For some, it can be biodiversity loss. For some, it can be energy efficiency or water footprint or some social responsibility related things. First of all, to analyze the things that you need to have in good shape and the information that you need to collect from your supply chain. And then, as said, you should implement at least those 2 parts after that to solve those required parts there, the supplier compliance and this operative sustainability. So I would say that that's something which is minimum what companies need to do in the near future. After that, you can start thinking about this innovation part and how to improve and so on, but you need to set up those 2 things first. Do you want to add something, Matti?
Do you, Matti, agree? Or?
I agree.
Okay, good. We are running out of the time. I will thank you all the participants who joined us on this webinar series. We will end up it right now, but before that, I would like to inform that we will continue these webinars in upcoming months, and we will of course inform you all about the upcoming webinars and other events in our channels. For example, LinkedIn is a good place to follow what is happening and what is upcoming. Thank you so much, and have a great day. Thank you, Timo and Matti.
Thank you, and have a great day.